Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from Video Show Me How, and in today's video it's all about water tanks. This is going to be part one of two, so without further ado, let's get started. So for the back of the D-Max, since the Cape trip, if you've been following along on the channel, you would have seen that we've got StorMod version 2 here. We've got our tower power here with 400 amp hours and a bunch of bits and pieces that have gone with. Some other videos coming soon on the 12 volt, upgrading some extra bits, new screen on the control panel, all sorts of way over the top stuff, but it's going to be cool. So we deleted the water tank that used to be there that you would have seen on the Cape trip videos. So wanted to get something else there and I wanted to put it underneath. It was a bit tricky because I needed to find the tanks that would fit, and I wanted to sort of show you a bit of a sit rep, bit of a progress report. Been getting lots and lots of DMs from a bunch of you guys going, what the hell's going on with the water tank? So I thought I'd do a part one, because part two is on the way, will be required, because I've only got one of the two tanks in, but everything else is done. So thought I'd give you a bit of an update. So we've been prototyping with a bunch of tanks, and that's why it's been taking some time. These guys are the 40 litre ones. I've been having a bit of a play with plastic welding, and I'm just not good enough. So I have custom ones of these on the way. The good news is, if you guys want to do something similar, I've been chatting with the company that's doing them for me and actually doing some proper professional inserts like this so they don't leak like these ones. You'll be able to get in touch with them and get exactly the same setup. So after part two comes out and I've got all this fully installed and working, you'd be able to replicate, just literally go, I want the Video Show Me How tank. They're 40 litres, and it'll you don't have to custom anything. They'll just send them to you the same as I've had. So I think what we might do is I might show you the tanks that are under there and kind of a bit of a view of what all that looks like and how I'm setting it all up. And then we'll come up the top, and because this is working just with 30 litres at the moment, because there's a 30 litre there, the 40 litre goes there. I'll jump underneath, show you how it all works, show it how it's all plumbed, and then we'll jump up the top and I'll show you kind of how it works in action. So if we jump underneath, I'll try and keep this as steady as I can, no gimbal or anything going on here. And you guys probably have seen some of this stuff. I think I did a bit of a post there on socials and what have you a while ago. You'll notice there is no spare tire, and I have put this guy in. So I've removed the factory sort of winder chain sort of setup because I need the space. We have this enormous space right here that is perfect for a water tank. That was a big consideration for me, is I wanted to maximize that space. That tank's 40 litres. Now the other one over here is a 30 litre tank, and this is the one that sits directly behind our fuel tank. Fits in there absolutely perfectly. I think this was a Dun & Watson, I believe, but I'll link it in the description, like I said. And then all I've done is kept all that, mounted up through the tub, some big boy washers I'll show you in a minute when we go up there and give this an actual test. We've got drain hose out of here, and then we've got this guy at the bottom coming through to our pump, which lives up here. So hopefully you can see that. I'll get this cable, this wire out of the way, but there we go. So I've played with a couple of different pumps. I ended up using this particular pump in a camper trailer build that I did a while ago. It is a Bunnings special, so lots of warranty there and lots of big green sheds everywhere. Now I've also played with pumps in the past where, you know, it is a lower flow, but the theory being if it's too high pressure you're going to burn through your water. But I found unless you're hosing it all over the ground, that sort of stuff, you'll see in a minute why you want a higher flow rate. Because if you're filling a jug like a kettle or a billy or something like that, you're camping, that sort of jazz, you kind of want the thing to fill up. You don't want to be there for 4 hours while the thing's filling up. So I've gone the bigger flow rate. I do have a separate drain on this one. I think there is a bit of water in there, yep. So I can drain that independently, but ultimately what we'll be doing is linking these two tanks together, adding a second breather once that goes in. That's very important. In part two, once this is all plumbed in, I'll give you a bit of a plumbing diagram as well, so stick around. I'll keep an eye out for that video when that comes out, because that'll give you a bit of an idea how that works. So only other one is this guy at the top, which is the input. So that's where all the water comes in through the top. It goes in to this guy down here, so it's sort of about halfway fill, and then the very top one there is the breather. So that's about the sort of how it works underneath here. I reckon let's get up the top here and let's press some buttons, fill the tank up, and I'll show you how it works. Right, so I had a couple of requirements here. I wanted to try and keep everything hidden away as much as possible. I wanted to try and keep filler points as factory and that sort of stuff, so I don't have, you know, the big caravan styles or anything like that. And I wanted to be able to use StorMod, and particularly the control panel, with everything plumbed in to all of our 12 volt. And I wanted to be able to use our aux beam switch panel here, because that means when I do that, it will turn the pump on. It's already primed because there's a little bit of water in there, but it'll turn it on. Because this is Bluetooth as well, I've got the app on the phone, so I could turn the pump on or off from the phone or from the switch panel. So that's pretty cool. Now to fill it up, I was tossing and turning around which way to go, but I found that in our fuel fillers here, I think this is designed for AdBlue in European markets, but we don't have AdBlue. We've just got the old DPF underneath instead. So behind here, when you pull that out, there is an absolute void. You've got stacks and stacks of room. So what I was able to do is get just a standard little cap here. This is all straight from the Big Green Shed. I just got this in here. Behind there is pretty boring stuff. It's literally just the hoses running down like you saw there before. And then we've got our input. So no need to hold the hose on. If I'm going on a trip, I literally plug it in. It starts filling the tank. We'll see if you can hear that. Hopefully you can slightly hear that. But that's it. So it's filling away. Now I've got the big breather sitting just behind here as well. So it'll just keep going. Once the tank's full, start to get some water come out underneath the guard here, meaning it's overflowing through the breather. And that's about it. It's as simple as that. So I've got the hose. I won't normally keep that there. I just come into my StorMod sort of storage bin there. I've routed the tap back up the top here, so you can use this separately if you want to. But normally I've just got a cut down little springy hose here like this, that then I can turn on the pump. It'll prime that, so that's ready to go. And pressurized water. And there you go. That's another big reason why I wanted 10 litres per minute, because it's almost, oh, we're overflowing over here. So there you go. So now we know that's full because it's literally pumping straight out the overflow. I've noticed if you just kind of slow that right down to a trickle, if you really want the thing to be chocker, you can really slow it down so that it will sort of get rid of all air in the system. I normally just put the finger on there for a little second until it finishes. There we go. Little dust cap that you can get, plug it in there, and we're good to go. And that closes, keeps it all sealed. You can't put anyone, and no one can sort of put anything in there because it's under your fuel cap. And then yeah, turn the old pump on, get our little, turn our tap on here, plug our hose in, and away we go. So hopefully you can hear that. Pump's pretty quiet compared to some of the other ones. So that's a big reason why I wanted 10 litres per minute, a bigger, higher flow one, because it's great. Now for most things, probably not going to be doing that. Maybe you're hosing your feet off if you're at the beach, that sort of jazz. The jet is almost full pressure. You can see it's just not keeping up, but I mean, that's a good sort of 10 meters away there. So that's heaps of pressure. The one you're probably always going to use is this one here, is full, because you're filling up your your billy for a coffee or something like that, or water. And look at that, it's heaps of pressure. So you're going to fill up your jug or what have you in no time at all. Fill up your wash basin for doing the old dishes or anything like that. Perfect. So there you go. Probably on a trip, I'll be hanging that up there like that. I've got my little table set up and that sort of stuff there for that. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. That's version 1. So it is technically fully functional at the moment, just with the 30 litres. But I will do a part 2 of this in the coming couple of weeks. It is on order. It's probably a week away. So install, filming, probably 2 weeks from the time you see this video. But it'll be the full custom version of that with some OG proper versions of the filler ports. We'll get that underneath. I'll show you the plumbing diagram that I've used as well in case you want to replicate, and I'll show you sort of it all working with the full 70 litres. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope that was informative for the guys that have been chasing information around what the heck I've been doing with water tanks. That's a bit of an overview. Hopefully that gives you an idea. But that's it for this one. I will see you in part 2. As always, guys, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.